Good afternoon or good evening, everybody. Welcome to my motivational talk today. Focus on the outcome, not the obstacles. My name is Mark Krebs. I am a gold qualified consultant with Team Sunset, part of Team Empire, Team World Explorer, and Team Rising Tide. It is great to have you all here today for what is, in my opinion, just something that I hope is going to give both new agents and old some motivation to keep on pushing through things. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to tell you guys my story from when I first started as a travel agent over 12 years ago up to today. Um, Today is April 6th. I just celebrated my 4-year Evoversary yesterday on April 5th. I started with the company April 5th, 2022. But during that time, it has not been easy for me. I faced a lot of personal challenges, um, both health wise for myself, health wise with family members. And I'm going to talk about those today as well. So and I hope you guys can get some inspiration, some motivation, and take some lessons back from this about what it's like to just keep on pushing through the hard times in your life personally, but in your business lives as well. So I'm really looking forward to presenting this to you today, guys, and talking about what I've been through and how I've gotten through everything. So let's go ahead and get going here. So again, what I like to do with this is I really like to say you want to focus on the outcome and not the obstacle, or you want to seize every opportunity that you can every single day. When you embrace your challenges, you will always be able to grow stronger together. And we are a big family here at Archer and Evolution. We're over 20,000 agents strong worldwide, guys. My travel agent career started over 12 years ago. Okay. I've been with 3 different host agencies. During that time, it has not been an easy road for me. Okay. I've had struggles. When I first started, I didn't know how to market on social media. I only knew about how to talk to people in person about what I did. It took me 6 months to get my first client. Okay. 6 months. My second client didn't come for a year and a half after, until a year and a half after that. 2 clients, 2 years. Okay. It was that way with my first 3 host agencies. There was no training, there was no leadership, there was no mentorship for me. I was all self taught. Yes, I started my travel and hospitality career with United Airlines in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Okay. I was there for a couple of years. Then I moved into the hotel business. I worked front desk for numerous hotels, Baymont Inn, Microtel, Sheridan, Holiday Inn Express, just to name a few. I did night audit. I did some housekeeping. I was the maintenance manager at a Holiday Inn Express property here in Vermilion, South Dakota, where I live now. I've done everything you can in the hotel industry under the sun and the moon, except for a full service restaurant. And I would even do that if they asked. Some of that time was while I was a travel agent. I was the night auditor on the weekends and the maintenance manager during the week at the Holiday Inn Express here in Vermilion, South Dakota, as well as a part-time travel agent. So I was actually working 3 different positions. And that was an obstacle for me because I was punching the time clock of a franchisee for a corporate conglomerate, IHG. Yes, I loved what I did, but it was a huge challenge that I had to embrace. Finally, 5.5 years ago, something like that, I decided to say, forget it. I fired my boss. And that's what we mean when we say you can fire your boss with this. And I started doing this full time. I've been doing this full time 5.5, 6 years now. And I haven't looked back. I found Archer and Evolution purely by accident. It was a LinkedIn ad, I believe. I was looking for another host agency. My old mentor, Paula Pardo, she was from Australia. I talked to her over Zoom, I believe. But with the 18-hour plus 1 day time difference, it was hard. But I went to the informational meeting just like all of you. I loved what I heard. So April 5th, 2022, I joined. And I haven't looked back a day since. So a little bit more about myself. I'm a gold qualified mentor, again, with Team Sunset. I'm a trainer. I'm a leader. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a small business owner, just like all of you. But I'm also a survivor. And you guys are going to hear about that survival story here in just a little while. That is the most important title that I have. Okay? Forget being a small business owner. Forget being a mentor or a trainer or a leader. Survivor is the most important title that I hold in my mind. So, what are opportunities? The dictionary defines opportunities as a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. Archer and Evolution is an opportunity. That's why when you are a mentor and you are out there prospecting for new agents, we call it an opportunity posting. Okay? So those of you who are mentors, remember that. This is not a job, it's a career or it's an opportunity. So remember to use that word because we don't want to mislead people into thinking this is a W-2 position. No, because we all know this is 1099 independent contractor. Okay? And for you new agents, that's exactly what this is. It is an opportunity for you to start building your own business, your own brand. Okay? And that's what Archer is all about. Archer is making it possible for you to do this. Now, what are obstacles? Obstacles are things that block one's way or prevents or hinders progress. Sure, we all run into obstacles every single day. Okay? Whether it's no gas in the gas tank to get to the grocery store or to your full-time job, not enough money in your bank account to cover rent or utilities, or for us travel agents, fear of travel to places like the Middle East or to Mexico, or lack of clients, or the obstacle of how do I find clients? Okay. That is something that hinders your progress. I don't ever want to use the word prevent. It's just a hindrance. It's like a speed bump. Okay. Something that's in your way that's just temporarily blocking you or is putting a little hump in the road. that is going to slow things down. Speed bumps are made to slow you down. Okay, does everybody agree with that? That's absolutely right, Mary Ellen. Obstacles are what you see when you take your eyes off the goal. That is absolutely correct. And guys, again, please feel free to unmute if I ask a question. So here's the key question that you need to ask yourself. How do I overcome an obstacle? It's always going to be based on your mindset about the way that you want to overcome what is in your path. There are always ways that you're going to be able to overcome the obstacles that present themselves in your life. You just have to find what the right solution is for you. Okay? And I'm going to use agents who are in here right now. What works for me, gaining clients, may not work for Mary Ellen. What works for Todd and I may not work for Angie and Leah. Okay? So you have to figure out what the right solution is for you. And that's what us mentors are here for. That's what your team is here for. Your platinum leaders, your upline. Go all the way up. If you're on Team Empire, look at Courtney Palladino, okay? Because she's the head of Team World Explorer. That's our next upline. And then go to Charles Lee, especially if you're on Team Rising Tide, if you're part of that team. And everybody in Team Empire, we go to Emily, who's our team leader. Then you hit Courtney Palladino, who's next in the 2-star platinum. And then we get Charles. Okay? They are all there to help you. Archer is there to help you. We have so many resources that are there to help us find the right solution to keep these clients or to figure out what to do. But it's not just in the travel business that we have people who will help you find the right solution to overcome obstacles in your life. Okay? Remember that. Remember what I said in the beginning. Archer and Evolution Travel are a family. From founder David McCovey and Ron Archer and Reggie Rivas, the CEO and the VP of Archer, all the way down to the brand new agent who just signed up 2 minutes ago at the latest informational meeting, no matter what team, no matter wherever in the world they are. We are all a family here. And that's why founder calls us family every single time. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. Now, remember, those of you who were here at the very beginning, this is the slide that I was talking about. Okay? For those of you who came in a little bit late, this next slide does have medical pictures. Okay? There's nothing graphic. It is a representation. It is a true representation of something which I went through back in 2022. Okay? Almost 4 months to the day after joining Archer. I joined on April 5th, 2022. This picture, or these 3 pictures, were taken on August 8th of 2022. I apologize, I missed getting the 2022 on the slide. And again, please, if you guys have questions or comments, again, do not hesitate to unmute. This is a personal obstacle which I had to overcome. This is me, literally me, laying in a surgical intensive care unit in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. These pictures were taken by my late wife. This is the day after I had a major life-saving surgery. I was in a medically induced coma at this time. This is a personal obstacle which I overcame. So this is my story of how I cheated death. On August 7th of 2022, I nearly lost my life. I was diagnosed with a severe bleeding ulcer, which required emergency surgery. I went to my local hospital here in Vermilion, where I live. Excuse me, about 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't feeling very well. Barely remember even driving to the hospital. All the information I have in this slide is third hand from nurses in Vermilion who saved my life and my medical records. And the physician assistant who also saved my life in the ER. My blood pressure bottomed out to 50/40. They had to fluid resuscitate me. They tried to call a helicopter in, but due to weather, it was grounded. They could not get the fixed wing aircraft down to Vermilion either. That was grounded due to weather. So after they were able to get me stabilized using a medication called Levophed, they had to wait an additional 2 to 3 hours for an ambulance to become available to take me to Sioux Falls, which is where the level 1 trauma center is. As soon as I hit the doors in Sioux Falls in the ER, I went to respiratory arrest. They intubated me immediately in my room. The surgical team already knew that I was coming. They were already in place in the ER. And they immediately ran a new CAT scan. They had already done one, thought I had a bowel obstruction. In Vermilion, they ran another CT. They found that I had a perforated duodenal ulcer. 4.5 hour long major surgery where I was opened up from stem to stern, literally, about midway up my chest, all the way down to my hips. Completely exposed so that they could get in there and stop the bleeding and repair where the ulcer was. I was in a medically induced coma for a week. At that week mark, I apparently was lucid enough to pull out my own ET tube, my own breathing tube. Same day they were going to take it out anyway, so not a big deal. They just got annoyed with me. But I spent 3 more days in the surgical intensive care unit and then was moved to a regular room. Overall, from August 7th, 2022 to until June 19th, 2023, I spent a total of 6 out of 10 months in the hospital, underwent 10 different major surgeries during that time, lost 1.5 feet of bowel. I would be happy to say that this has not had any other side effects to go along with it, but I cannot at this time. I will be having another surgery in May because some cysts have formed, causing some complications for me. Not major, just more of an annoyance, but also causing me to go onto antibiotics every month or two, which is not good for my body either. So in May, I will be losing my belly button, which I'm totally cool with. So hopefully that will be the last complication from this. Now, how was I able to survive emotionally through this obstacle? I had a lot of emotional support from my family and friends, but those friends who I have made in this business and my business partners, they have become family to me. Mary Ellen is like a sister from another mister. Leah is a good friend of mine now. Todd is a wonderful friend. If you're on Team Empire and can ever get to a Sunday travel booking Q&A with Ron Perry, he is a brother from another mother. The same thing with the Q&A with Harvey Wall. Harvey and I have so much in common, it's not funny. I was down for the first 2 months because I had complication after complication after complication happen. I was so weak, both physically and emotionally, that I could barely sit up in bed the first 2 months. But it was during the last couple of weeks that I started to regain my strength and realized that I had truly cheated death. And it was by some miracle that I had my friends and my Archer and Evolution family there holding me up. I stayed in contact with Emily. I stayed in contact with Courtney. I stayed in contact with Amy Edwards, my platinum. I stayed in contact with everybody I had been working with. Yes, I lost my team. I had a team of 23. And I lost my entire team during that, with the exception of 2 or 3 people. But those who did stick around understood what I was going through. I couldn't even sit up and get on my computer for 10 minutes just to type an update for my friends and family on social media. I couldn't even think how my business was going to survive on the travel side of things after I had been gone for 2 months. So, yeah, that was a huge obstacle because it was a very traumatic deal, both physically and emotionally for me. And it was a huge obstacle. However, I was able to turn it into an opportunity. My second hospitalization started in March of 23. I said to myself, I'm not going to just sit around and do nothing this time. Not at all. I was hospitalized straight from a doctor's appointment because of yet another complication after a revision surgery, excuse me. So I had an emergency appointment with my surgeon because there was an issue with the surgical site. Well, the issue became very large very quickly at the appointment, and they direct admitted me to the hospital. I had a feeling it was going to happen already. So I smartly brought my files with me for my clients. I brought business cards with me, and I brought my computer, my laptop with me. And I had a hotspot for my business already. The only thing missing was a ream of paper and my printer. And my late wife got that for me a day or two later. So I turned that into an opportunity and had a mini office set up in my hospital room. And boy, was that the right decision for me to turn that into an opportunity because, again, I was there for another 2.5 to 3 months, 3.5 months. I gained 75 new clients that hospitalization. 75. From doctors and nurses to volunteers, chaplains, and even just people visiting others who were in the hospital. Did I wear that stupid hospital gown? No. Yeah, I was hooked up to IVs and stuff, but are you kidding me? I was wearing 72 Sunny gear. I was wearing my hat that I have on my head right now. I was wearing my t-shirt. And I had shorts on when I was walking the hall because I hate hospital gowns. I was promoting my brand. And I had people stop me in the hall and ask me about travel. I had my cell phone with me. I even was teaching classes, just like this one. I was doing Q&As. I was teaching some of my normal trainings from my hospital room. My nurses even left me alone. I had a quiet please training in progress sign that I put up on my door, and everybody respected it. I had goals to accomplish. I kept a positive attitude. I knew that there was going to be an end in sight. I just didn't know when. Okay? I knew there was going to be an end in sight, but it would come when it came. Keeping a routine is what helped me get over the hump. Okay? Yes, small obstacles hit. When I had to have procedures or surgeries, sure, it was annoying, especially if I was in the middle of something and they came to get me. But big deal. Even on surgery days, after the anesthesia wore off, I was right back to work. No, I'm not telling you guys to go do that, but that's what I did. I'm not telling you that if you're in the hospital for something serious to do what I did and turn your hospital room into a mini office. Okay, but it's what I had to do to stay sane, for one, because I couldn't keep watching the same TV shows, the same movies, even though I had a Netflix box in my room. It didn't work half the time with the Wi-Fi there at the hospital or on my computer. Okay. So I kept myself and my motivation the best that I could, despite what I was going through. Now, a couple of years later, I hit another large, large bump in the road. And some of you know about this. I know Mary Ellen, Todd, and Leah know about this. And some of you other agents who have been in my trainings before may have heard me talk about it. But just over a year ago, just under 14 months ago, February, actually almost 14 months ago to the day, February 8th of 2025, I lost my wife to suicide due to substance abuse. That was another huge bump in the road for me. It was another huge obstacle. But because of that, what I did was I turned it into an opportunity. Yes, I grieved. Okay. I got a call from David, from Founder. I talked to Jose and I let him know. I got flowers from the office. I talked to Ron. The word spread around the office, word spread around the company. Some of you may have seen the post on the Evolution Enterprises page about it. There were posts from folks all over the world who I didn't even know, from agents and trainers and leaders from all over the world, sending their condolences to me from all over the world. And that helped me keep going. Yeah. And Liz, absolutely right. 30 days later, she lost her mom. So we all worked through it. I have all the cards. I got probably 15 or 20 physical cards from my team and other team members on Team Empire and some from Rising Tide. So, but I turned that into an opportunity as well, because we have a charity called Emily's Hope here in South Dakota, and it's national as well. Well, they're trying to go national, but it's run by a friend of mine who used to be a reporter here at Kelloland TV. Her name is Angela Kennecke. And her daughter died due to a fentanyl overdose. And my late wife died because of due to suicide. She actually hung herself. And the secondary cause of death was fentanyl abuse. So, as you guys can see on this slide, opportunities overcome obstacles, seizing chances, overcoming challenges, and thriving in every situation presented, embracing possibilities, pushing boundaries, and sculpting a successful future together. I partner with Emily's Hope. Okay. I donate 10% of my sales back to Emily's Hope to help their charity help people realize that mental health and addiction awareness and help folks get over the stigma of substance abuse being a bad thing and helping people know that there is help out there. I'm one of a couple of volunteers down here in Vermilion that help keep their naloxone boxes full. I'm pushing to get one. Thanks, Mary Ellen. I am looking to push to get another naloxone box here in the city, in the emergency department entrance at the hospital, at our local hospital. That's one of my goals for the donation that I'm going to make. Timi's Hope. I'm going to be working with another mother who lost her teenage daughter, her high school daughter, to a fentanyl-laced opiate medication, and make a donation to Kelsey's Kicks to help local high school athletes get free athletic shoes. So those are opportunities that are helping me overcome obstacles. Finally, I love this quote: embrace opportunities, conquer obstacles, thrive always. Guys, there are going to always be obstacles in our way, no matter what. Okay? It's how you conquer them that is the biggest difference. If you just sit there and say, I give up, I can't do this, those obstacles are going to win every single time. Okay? But if you embrace the opportunity to push through those obstacles and work around them and push yourself to get over them, you're going to always thrive, no matter what you're doing in your personal lives, your family lives, or your business life. Give yourself grace. When things get hard, you become tough. Don't give up, guys. As the late, great Jim Valvano said, don't give up. Don't ever give up. He wasn't just talking about his fight with cancer. Okay? He was talking about life in general. I use that quote all the time. I think about it all the time. I didn't give up after I got sick. I didn't give up after my late wife passed. I'm still here. You guys can still be here as well, no matter what life throws at you, whether it is in your personal life or your business life. Thank you, guys. Do you have any questions for me or any comments?
Thank you so much, Mark. That was really incredible, and you're very brave, and appreciate your vulnerability and opening up and sharing that with us and motivating us today.
My pleasure, Todd. I mean, it's something that, everybody needs to hear some motivation every once in a while, no matter what it is. But I think for me, being able to tell my story about where I was at the very beginning of my career to 4 years ago, just 4 or 5 months in with Archer, having that brush with death, having to deal with all of that in my first like 14 months, really, just starting out. I have a great team built up. Then I lose most of them. And then I'm sick. So I'm not able to work. Then I get my strength back. Then I have to go back into the hospital. I turn that into an opportunity. Then 2 years later, I lose my wife and I have to push through that. Um, I think it just shows what we can do if we put our minds to it. Yeah, no problem, Shante. So we can get through things no matter what they are. I was getting frustrated with the training I was doing this morning, but I still pushed through it and got fully WinStar Cruise certified today. So, and that's a little thing, but it still made me feel good. Yeah, my pleasure, Anna, and hope you as well. Does anybody else have anything they would like to comment on, ask questions about? Yes, Leah.
Well, hello. I am surely grateful for this. Your vulnerability as your strength for sure. I mean, we all come with things, in our baggage that we have to deal with and work with and adapt to, et cetera, et cetera. But I really appreciate the understanding of the backstory. I only know you, honestly. I know you through trials and tribulations and the situation with your wife and everything that you've had to overcome with that. But I didn't know the backstory about your trip to the hospital, et cetera. And I mean, I could surely relate. I've had a gastric hemorrhage and was rushed into surgery, and I didn't know if I was going to survive. And um, I was definitely a miracle by proxy as I was recovered to leave the hospital within 6 days when it usually takes people 3 to 4 weeks to recover and leave the hospital. So I understand that. So we have that in common. Um, but also, what I want to say is, it's like when we have these obstacles in our life that we think it's so hard to get through and push through, and it's not the right time, and I have this going on, I have this going on. Um, it really is an opportunity to face a different path. And with my story, Mark, I mean, I lost my mom a year ago, March 16th, on her 81st birthday. But
Yep, I
before
remember that.
that, that's right. We were really tight with that. And
Yeah.
then, but before that, honestly, I mean, I was forced to retire from a 40-year career in the restaurant industry as a classically trained chef and caterer and all things Sonoma County hospitality. And I was faced to find a new path of action. I was like, well, what am I going to do? And I jumped into tourism and travel, and um, that's when I became on board with Archer Travel, and I still continue to have obstacles because then my mom was diagnosed as dementia, fast producing into Alzheimer's, and I was her caretaker. And
Yep.
I was trying to maneuver around and train and do all these things during that time. And it was difficult, but I did it because what I wanted was more than I had, and I was willing to do anything it took to make sure that this happened and it solidified and it was full of sustenance. And I did that. And a couple years later, here I am, and I'm booking crazy. But what I want to say about that is like no matter what is going on, um, we attract what we are, and everybody has a story. And the thing is that you got to take that opportunity, which is, you have this, now what are you going to do? And if it feels right in your heart, if it really pushes everything, you got to keep moving forward. So, that's what I did through it all. And sometimes we just got to give it away to keep it. So I understand your plight with mentorship, and I understand your plight with being a trainer, and everything I truly believe comes back a thousandfold. So, however that shows up for anybody, whatever you're going through, whatever's happening, to just really understand you're not on an island by yourself here. You have this incredible, incredible team with other people, not just in Sunset Travel, but with Evolution Enterprises, um, to recognize others that are going through the same thing and connecting, because it's truly important, I feel, to connect with that, because honestly, you never know what somebody is going through until you know what they're going through. And that is an opportunity to be more than we are in this moment. And it's an opportunity to give back, and just know that it's all going to come back to you in a good way. And, I just got to say, Mark, honestly, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for being here for number one, the last 4 years after everything that you've gone through, but that you continue to give the extra effort to new agents, middle agents like me, and even longtime agents that might not know, that you're still in it to win it. And that is how it works. And I have to tell you honestly, I've been involved with network marketing in different companies over the last 30 years outside of my regular job stuff. But this is honestly, truly the first company that I have teamed with that really is what it says it is. And I have never felt more at home and more, what's the word that I'm looking for here? Contributive, is that a word? I don't know, Todd Flora, you tell me. Um, is that the word that I'm looking for? I mean, when we find our place and we find a home in it, and we can be vulnerable and talk about our stuff, but we're still received and we're still supported, just know, like, we are you. We are you. Even
Yep.
though we have a few years, under our belt, and we're, kicking ass and taking names or whatever, it doesn't shy away from the fact that we were once a little seed that could. And then that grew into a travel agency, and now a travel agency that could and can and will. Um, I am truly honored to be a part of this training with you, Mark, because I really do see how far you go to grow. And it makes me both happy and honored to know you. And I don't know if any of that made sense. I have no idea, but that's all I know. And like I said, I'm truly grateful to be with Archer, with Evolution, and to be a part of your team.
Well, thanks, Leah. And yes, that all did make sense to me. Um, it, yes, people have different views of network marketing, but here's the thing, and here's the difference with Archer. Okay. When you come aboard, you are not forced to recruit. Okay. You don't have to recruit. You can book travel only and you can out earn your mentor. Simple as that. The mentorship side of the business is optional. And we tell you guys that right off the bat. It is optional. It's a great second stream of income, but it's optional. Okay. So, yeah, exactly, Leah. That's what is so incredible. It's not like Avon or Scentsy or Tupperware, where in order to actually make money, you have to recruit people and build them up so that you're on the top of the pyramid. It's absolutely not like that, guys. We have people who book Super Bowl packages for 4 or 5 months out of the year, and boom, they're done. They've made their money 6 figures for the year, and they're done. Okay. And Leah, compounding on your point about how we're always, how people we may have been here for a while, guys, we're always learning. Okay. We are always learning something. In the last 2.5 weeks, I've gotten 14 new certifications. So we're always learning something new. We don't know it all. We will never know it all. If I know it all, I quit. Okay. There are so many destinations that I don't know about and I want to know about. And if I learn them all, I quit. Plain and simple. But it's going to take me 100 years to learn everything. So that's never going to happen. And I'm 45. So does anybody else have any comments, questions for me? I did put all of my contact information into the chat. For those of you watching the recording, I will put this into the description of the video as well. But the first Facebook link is my personal page. Guys, please feel free to follow or friend me on there. That way you can send me direct messages. Ask me any questions. I love working with any agent. Second one is my Facebook business page. Then I put in my email. And then, guys, I did give you my office phone number and my cell number. Okay. Cell, if you're an international agent, you can also use WhatsApp to call me or text me. My phone is always on. Trust me, it's always on. Especially when I have clients traveling, which I have a bunch traveling here over the next couple of months. So my YouTube link is there. It's just youtube.com/@72 and Sunny Travel. And then my personal website that I have created as well, if you guys want to check that out. So, but this recording will be on the YouTube channel. It should, for those of you on Team Empire, it should also go on to our team website. I will be sending it out to the Rising Tide and Empire Trainers chats. So, sorry. So that will be be distributed to your teams as well. But does anybody else have any questions, comments for me before we wrap this up? Not seeing anybody unmuting or seeing anything in the chat. Well, thank you all very much for being here on this Motivational Monday. For Team Empire, my next training is going to be on Wednesday the 8th. I'm doing travel booking Q&A at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then my next regular training is going to be on the 14th of April. That training is going to be booking basics for Disney and Universal Resorts. If you are new, we are going to be going over the booking process for Disney. Since you are new, you are not able to get access to Disney travel agents for 60 days, but you can still book Disney. So you definitely want to be there. That training is going to be at 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on this same Zoom. And then on the 28th, I am also doing my instant commissions training again at 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on my Zoom right here as well. So again, guys, thank you all very much for being here. I will be sending this out as soon as it gets uploaded to YouTube. So thank you all very much for being here. Again, my name is Mark Krebs. I'm a gold qualified consultant with Team Sunset, part of Team Empire, Team World Explorer, and Team Rising Tide. You all have an amazing rest of your night and a wonderful week of booking. Bye for now.